This is an email from Amrita, who's actually voicing a question that's come from many people. She says, I find that Advaita Vedanta says that we are God himself, but there is one question in my mind, and that is, if I am God, then to whom do I pray? And why do I pray when I am all in all?
All right. Look at the language of this question. If I am God in Advaita Vedanta, that thou art. And I can't escape, I just said it at great length. So if that's true, then whom do I pray to? Look at the language. I pray. Which means I remain as I am. An individual being who needs the grace of God. I am devoted to God. I love the Lord my God. And somehow I am also God, Advaita told me. So now you're putting me in trouble. How can I pray to God? When Advaita says that you are God, you are one with God, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, what they mean is two things. First of all, when they say that you are God, it means you are not the individual person you think yourself to be. When Shankaracharya sings, Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham, I am pure consciousness, pure bliss of the nature of Shiva. What did he sing in the first three lines? Mano buddhya hankara chittani naham, nacha shrotra jibhe, nacha ghrana netre, nacha vyoma bhumir, na tejo na vayu. I am not the mind. I am not the intellect. I am not the memory. I am not the ego. I am not the ego. Look at the contradiction. Apparently, ego means what? I. And what is he saying? I, the ego. Saying I am not the ego. That means the real I is not the ego. I am not the senses. I am not the body and the mind made of the five elements. Sky and earth and fire and water. No. Then only have I any right to say I am pure consciousness, pure bliss of the nature of Shiva. I cannot be Swami Sarvapriyananda sitting in this chair and claim to be God. That's megalomania. That's craziness. Vedanta never says that. Vedanta says, realize yourself as you truly are, you will find yourself that you are one with God. Even then, you will not be God. When we study Vedanta, we see, I'll just put it in this, one or two sentences, I can't explain the whole thing here. The same existence, consciousness, bliss associated with Maya is called Saguna Brahman or God of religion. The same existence, consciousness, bliss limited by an individual avidya, a part of Maya, one ajnana, avidya, ignorance, is called individual, you are my I. They are never the same. According to Advaita Vedanta, God is Saguna Brahman, Brahman, Satchidananda plus Maya. Brahman plus Maya. Satchidananda plus Maya. That is Saguna Brahman, God. And the individual, Jiva, is the same Brahman but limited by Ajnana, by a tiny portion of Maya. So the end result, Jiva, is never equal to Ishvara. Shankaracharya himself clearly says, the wave belongs to the ocean never belongs to the wave. We are never saying that the Jiva is Ishvara. The Jiva, the individual being, human being, is God. No. The reality of Jiva and the reality of Ishvara are one and the same. At that point, neither Ishvara is Ishvara nor Jiva is Jiva. It is one pure consciousness. That's what Advaita Vedanta is saying. At that point, there is nobody to pray and nobody to pray to. At that point, who will pray for what? Now, knowing that, can I go on praying? Of course. The moment you feel, I am this individual being, though in reality I be pure consciousness, of course I can pray to God. When I'm standing in the body and mind, and I act as the body and mind, and I do act as the body and mind all the time, except when I'm reading Vedanta. Even then you are the body and mind because you are reading Vedanta. So why can I not pray to God? If I can eat, if I can walk, if I can talk, if I can ask a question, if I can answer a question, I can do everything in life and not pray to God. Why not? Hanuman, when he was asked by Ramachandra, what do you think of me? Hanuman said, as a body, I am Hanuman, thy servant. As the conscious being inside this body, the Jiva, I am part of thee. You are the whole, I am the part. But as pure consciousness, the Atman, you and I are the same thing. Which one is true? All of them are true. The ultimate truth is you and I are the same thing. But in this position, as a body and mind, I can perfectly act, thou art the Lord, I am thy servant. Between me and thee exists a bond of love. Kabir's song, translated by Tagore, so beautiful. From the beginning of time till the end of time, a love exists between us. How could such love ever be severed? How could such a bond ever be severed? So beautiful. Like the chakor, which looks up at the moon. There's a traditional Indian story about the night bird chakor, chandar chakor they say, which falls in love with the moon. Of course, it's a little bird, and it looks at the moon. Of course, it can never reach the moon, but it pines away from the moon for all its life, looks up at the moon. I'm like that. And I'm perfectly all right because ultimately I'm one with you. So I know I'm safe. But till that, as an individual being, I can love the cosmic. I can love my beloved. Why not? There is that great, beautiful saying. Before enlightenment, dualism leads to confusion, to delusion, being trapped in samsara. After enlightenment, the enlightened person imagines a duality, a difference between himself and the Lord for the sake of love. Bodhat prak dvaitam mohaya. Before enlightenment, dualism leads to delusion. I get trapped in samsara. Friend, enemy, good, bad, things to be done, regrets, ambitions. Dualism. After enlightenment, what happens to dualism? A dualism is now imagined. Really, there is no dualism. It's an appearance now, like snake in the rope. It's imagined. Why? Because of joy. Bhakti artam kalpitam dvaitam. I imagine a dualism because it appears to be. I don't have to work hard at it. It appears. The dualism continues to appear, even for an enlightened person. And why do I do that? Bhakti, for love. And then what? Advaitadapi sundaram. It is more beautiful than non-dualism. One great non-dualistic teacher giving a talk about the Bhagavatam, which is an excellent dualistic text, or not dualistic text, I will say it's an excellent text of bhakti. Now one bhakti tradition teacher, he grumbled. He said, yes, those non-dualists, they have such a boring time of it. Naturally, they are going to come into our territory and talk about our Krishna and our Bhagavatam. What are they going to do all day long? Talk about Maya and Brahman and how the world is an appearance? Just boring. So they are going to end up talking about love anyway.